What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Just Like Smith channel. I know y'all watched my last video where we started tearing the motor out of the 6.0 so we can send it off to Herbie at PKP Motorsports. In today's video, we're not gonna pull the motor. In this actual video, the next video that I upload, you will see this motor out of the truck and getting packaged up and shipped off. But in this video, we're just gonna go over pretty much what will happen if you let this guy work on your truck. This is Danny Bryant, owner of Main Street Auto and Diesel out of Frankfort, Kentucky. And let's just say you can watch like the last 10 videos that are truck related on my YouTube channel. Even with all the videos that are already on my YouTube channel, posts on my Facebook, stuff like that. We're gonna show you some more and talk about some more issues and things that I found when taking this thing apart myself. So behind me, we've got the motor. We haven't removed the valve covers or anything like that. We're gonna let Herbie do all that, and then that'll give him some content for his YouTube channel. Pretty much with everything that we've removed so far, we've already found quite a few funny things. And I say funny, it's not really funny, but it's pretty sad, really. First thing is when removing the turbo, I found that one of the turbo pedestal bolts was missing, and then when I removed the high pressure oil pump cover, I just kind of popped it loose. It's just kind of sitting there. I know that it does require some sealant along the backside, but it's just so messy back there. There's just like a glob of it. And then right here on the up pipe, like on the T4 kit or whatever, I bought this off of him. I don't know whose truck it came off of, but it's a stainless diesel kit, so it comes with like the headers and everything. So the truck doesn't have manifolds anymore. It has the actual headers, and those mate to these up pipes and all that stuff. I think that we just have a little bit of an exhaust leak going on right there on that side, so we'll definitely need a new T4 gasket or whatever on that. I'm hoping that the actual flex joints are okay and that that one is only a little bit black because it's been spraying soot like over that way, because we'll have to, I guess, replace the headers and the up pipes and everything if those are bad. I'm not really sure. Comment below if you know. On the power steering pump, it was missing a bolt. On the oil cooler housing, there were two bolts that were just like they had been started by hand but never even tightened down. Down here, this wire routing was like all jumbled and tangled like really weirdly, so I'll have to fix that whenever I actually put the motor back in. One of the motor mount bolts was just like, it was just sticking out like this much. It had just been, I guess, started by hand. And then let's see, what else was there? Oh, on the turbo setup that I purchased off of him, I assume there's supposed to be some studs like on this part, and I thought this was kind of funny. So there's supposed to be some studs on this part, I would assume, but these are just like normal like forward bolts, and that would have to make it a pain in the old ass to assemble. And then here was the gasket. It's just so aggravating. Right here's the oil cooler screen that's underneath the oil cooler, and you can just see all of the shit and gunk all over it from where my motor was open, you know, like without heads and all that stuff for so long in his shop. And there was just zero care whether the truck was like in a clean environment or not. Not to mention like destroying thousands and thousands of dollars worth of powder coat underneath with oil and power steering fluid and coolant and everything else. Also, not to mention one of his employees or him putting a huge dent in the side of the fender, so I'll have to throw a new fender on here, probably have it blended into the side of the truck. Just all kinds of stuff. And I'm just trying to make this video to warn people. You guys would not believe how many people there are that have messaged me telling me like, hey man, you know, have you heard from Danny? Is your truck done yet? My truck's been there. He's got this wrong with it and this wrong with it. Like, he was doing a delete on an L5P, and this guy messaged me the other day, and he had had his truck for like 2 weeks or something, and of course he had told the guy that it would only take like 3 or 4 days. And then just like he told a local guy here that he bricked the ECU and was having to send the ECU off, and he was going to make things right, that he bricked the ECU. That's what he told this guy too. So apparently he was just bricking all kinds of ECUs, and it's like, no you're not. Like, that's just a blatant lie, or you're actually that stupid to just keep bricking these ECUs. And not only from everything that you've messed up on my truck and how poorly of a job you've done, like, just stop working on trucks. Like, I don't know Like, I think he actually may have like a mental disorder, or like there may actually be something wrong with this guy. Because like whoever is a 6.0 mechanic and has done over 200 plus trucks, you don't just leave 2 bolts on the entire oil cooler housing. When you're redoing the truck for the second time, you don't leave 2 bolts just like hand threaded, just started. Whenever you have an engine apart and you put back together a brand new engine with, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars of brand new parts, and the truck's ran for 40 miles, the oil should not have metal shavings all over it and gunk all in the oil filter screen. You know, the oil cooler screen underneath the oil cooler. There's just so much, guys, and it's been so much to even like comprehend that it's really been hard to make a video about, because there's so much. Like, all of the powder coat underneath the entire truck, all of the bolt heads, like I've returned most of it back to stock, but like whenever I got my truck back, all the bolt heads were corroded. All of the powder coat was stained and destroyed, chipped, scratched, whatever. The truck is just absolutely nasty. I mean, to some people it may still, I mean, it's still a nice truck, but thank God we have a PKP Motorsports built transmission and we don't have to worry about the transmission. Because if you haven't seen that video, Danny also stole my torque converter, and I'm assuming put a bad torque converter in the truck or stole the good transmission, because my truck only had 90,000 miles whenever I dropped it off. And whenever I picked it up the first time from it being built, after it was supposed to take a month and it took like 7 or 8 months, I don't even remember. The transmission went out in like the first 200 miles and the head gaskets were blown in like the first 20 or 30, 40 miles. So it's like you don't have a truck with 90,000 miles that's just so immaculate, and then you head stud it and do all these upgrades, and you have a very, very healthy shifting 90,000 mile 6.0 transmission. And then it just goes out in 200 miles without even being like hard on the truck at all. We have the motor as disassembled as it needs to be, pretty much, to pull it and send it to Herbie at PKP Motorsports. And pretty much what the plan is he has a new block, I do believe, that he's going to be using, or he may send mine off to the machine shop and have it fixed if it can be repaired. But this is what I meant in some of the other videos. Like whenever I say that Danny used a angle grinder, obviously I'm being a little bit dramatic when I say an angle grinder, but there are a lot of people that would call what he used an angle grinder, and it's kind of hard to see, kind of not. But like these surfaces right here, they literally have hash marks in them from where he used a handheld die grinder with a sanding wheel, a sanding disc, okay? And in person, you can clearly see, like these are the heads, so all of this has been done by a machine. And you can see very fine, like milling marks from where these ports are done with a actual machine, and it's true flat, and it's perfect. All of these surfaces that Danny has touched, you can just tell that they're not even. And I really wish that I had the heads off, because I could show you guys the block of this motor and you guys would shit. Like, the block of this motor has such deep like hash marks and gouge marks in it. That's why the head gaskets continue to blow within the first 40 or 50 miles. Pretty much as soon as you start the truck up and it builds up any kind of pressure and has no leaks, like as far as the cooling system goes, and it has to actually hold its own, it blows the head gaskets. So I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, Justin, where does the truck go from now? So I want to go ahead and tell you guys my plans. My plans as of right now is to get the motor sent out to Herbie. Whenever I get it back, I've got the truck back to stock height, and it's actually reverse leveled, and it's going to have just some traction bars, just basic tubular traction bars that I'm going to build and slap on it just to hold the rear end in place. We've got the PKP Motorsports transmission that's fully built transmission. And then we will have a really, really fun, I think somewhere between 600 to 700 horsepower, reliable engine from PKP. Once I put like 1,000 miles, 2,000 miles, I'm gonna drive this truck. I'm not gonna be crazy hard on it, but I'm gonna drive this truck and put some miles on it and make sure it's reliable, okay? You guys have to understand, in the grand scheme of things, like, I'm still just a normal person. Like, yes, I love throwing the big 20-inch lift, 12-inch lift, 10-inch lift, 8-inch lift, whatever, on my personal truck and doing powder coating everything and putting hours upon hours upon hours of work into how the truck looks. But when I lose the faith of, hey, can this truck even drive to shows, like motor wise and transmission wise, that really sucks, okay? Because I've never been the type to put my truck on a trailer and have it trailered to a show except for Music City. And it was just best to do it that way because I didn't have the interior done and it was hood stacked, so I wasn't really trying to drive it for 3 hours. But anyway, I try to keep my trucks as drivable as possible. I always try to make it a Smoky Mountain Truck Fest every year, and that's a 2.5 hour drive each way. So I try to keep them, you know, like 4 hours and under, and I try to drive my truck to the shows to kind of show you guys no matter what size lift you put on your truck, if you do it right and you really take your time and you get a good alignment and you torque everything and you make sure you're using a good quality lift kit, these trucks can be really badass looking, and you can still drive them to all these truck shows as long as you just do it right. To furthermore answer my question that I was just now pretty much asking myself to the camera, we're gonna get this thing driving and reliable, put some miles on it. It's gonna be reverse leveled on these stock wheels and tires. So once the truck has had like 1,000 or 2,000 miles put on it, I do plan on doing some more content, doing another lift to show you guys, probably a different brand, just to give you guys some variety. I love PMF, I love Stryker. There's a lot of lift kit companies that I really like, so I try to every year do a different one, and it's never anything personal towards the last. It's just showing, you know, the entire truck industry that there's a lot of good brands out here. You guys just can install them yourself and all that. That's what the channel's always been about. That's why a lot of you guys love this truck and probably care more about it than I do at the moment. But I'm trying to stay there for you guys. You know, I'm trying to keep a hold of this truck and get it back to a beautiful state and a reliable state. I've been so close to just letting it go and just losing the whole truck for whatever it would go for. I don't even know. But we're not doing that anymore. So like I said, the goal is to get the truck back to a reliable running state, and then we will be going back to single shot powder coating, taking him the axles, the whole 9 yards, and doing a new powder coat color with a new lift kit, a smaller lift kit. It may actually be a lowering lift kit, and I know that's kind of confusing, but I can't talk about it in this video because I haven't got like all the renderings and stuff that I have planned. But I've already reached out to another company and we're gonna be working together, I'm pretty sure. So it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be something that I've never done on this channel. It's gonna be something that I've never seen a 6.0 have. It's gonna be the first 6.0 to have this. As usual, most of the stuff that's on this truck, thanks to you guys, is usually like new stuff that companies are wanting to release. So obviously it's easier for the first truck to be like on a truck with some sort of following. You know, I'm not some big huge famous person or anything, but obviously it's better for a company to actually get some photos, some install videos, all kinds of stuff, and sell the lift kit for a little bit less or give it away or whatever. Because the advertising and stuff that I do here on the YouTube channel for pretty much every company that I've ever worked for or been sponsored by has always paid off for them, because I try so hard to support the people that support me. And that's kind of what this entire truck scene should be, and it's kind of not anymore, and that's been really hard to grasp as well and stay motivated when the truck scene that I love so much just isn't the same anymore. But anyway, that's a story for another day and a much longer road that I don't feel like going down right now with everything that's already on my plate. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to make a video and kind of update you guys and say that the next video that you watch here on the channel will be the motor coming out of the truck. Kind of show you guys some more issues that I've ran into and just funny stuff that I found, just to try to make light of the situation. So between all of the loose bolts on the oil cooler, the random Ford bolts that are on a stainless diesel T4 kit that are such a pain in the ass to get on and off because of stupidity, the leaky T4 gasket that was supposed to be new, the high pressure oil pump that to me looks like a Dorman or a Ford or something. It just looks like a normal high pressure oil pump. The power steering pump that was missing bolts, the AC compressor that was missing bolts, the billet low pressure oil pump that wasn't a billet low pressure oil pump that I paid for. It was just a standard. The water pump back here that was supposed to be a bulletproof diesel water pump. The bulletproof diesel water pumps are billet and they're black. And this is just a normal, probably from O'Reilly's or Advanced Auto Parts, replacement water pump. Just so many lies Like, there has to be something wrong with the guy. There has to be something wrong with this guy. Like, he has to mentally not be there. He's not there fully, 100%. There's some crazy people out there that he has screwed over really bad, and I don't understand it at all. But you guys have watched me grow on YouTube, and you've seen how much I try to help these companies and stuff. So, like, if you're gonna scam someone, like, I'm not sure why he was trying to scam me when, like, I'm trying to help him. Like, if he didn't want to do it for free, that's fine. Like, I didn't even ask the guy to do all of this stuff for free, but then he made me like pay him for these parts and buy this off of him and buy that off of him. And it's all parts that I never even end up getting. So like, in the long run, like, he didn't do it for free. You know what I mean? So like, he told me that he was going to do it for free, and he was like, oh, you need this. Oh, you need this, blah, blah, blah. And all of this, that, and those, and this and that, I never got. You know, like, I Venmo'd him the money, paid him in cash, whatever, never got. And it's over a year later now, and I still don't have a truck. But we're gonna work through this together. You guys are gonna see every bit of it. And you guys also need to follow Herbie at PKP Motorsports on YouTube, and subscribe, and follow him on Instagram. And you'll be able to watch this motor get rebuilt, and it's gonna be a really, really cool process, and I hope that y'all enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Always remember, everybody starts out as a nobody, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.